In today's world, many of our most important conversations no longer happen in the same room. Teams are dispersed, connection happens through screens, and the pace of digital work often leaves little space for pause or reflection. Yet this is exactly where time to think becomes most valuable and most needed. Creating a thinking environment remotely isn't just possible. It's vital to maintaining clarity, trust, and presence across distance. It reminds us that even through a screen, the quality of attention still determines the quality of thinking. In this session, we'll explore practical considerations for bringing time to think into remote and hybrid settings, how to preserve attention, equality, and ease in virtual space, and how small adjustments in design and discipline can transform the online experience of thinking together. Running a thinking environment online takes a little more structure, but that structure actually creates freedom. Start every meeting with a short round of arrival. Ask something simple like, "What's one word that describes how you are arriving today?" It helps people shift from multitasking into presence. Keep group sizes small, ideally 6 to 10 people per breakout room. Beyond that, attention starts to fragment. Alternate between thinking pairs and rounds. This balance keeps energy and depth without fatigue. In one-to-one sessions, use spotlight view for the thinker so your full attention is visible and uninterrupted. Encourage cameras on for connection, but respect those who need them off due to bandwidth or neurodiversity. Equality includes choice. Online, silence feels longer, so intentionally double your pauses after each question. What feels like a long gap on screen is often just enough time for deeper thinking. Finally, end every session with appreciation. Ask, "What did you value in this session?" or "What are you taking away?" Appreciation restores connection and reminds everyone that attention and respect remain our most powerful tools, even and perhaps especially in virtual space. One of the most powerful aspects of time to think is that it's not tied to a physical space. It's tied to the quality of attention we bring. In today's remote and hybrid workplaces, that means intentionally designing online sessions to preserve the same sense of presence, equality, and ease that we create in person. The first principle is camera framing. Encourage participants to position their cameras so that their faces are clearly visible and roughly at eye level. This simple act signals attention. When we can see each other's eyes, we can feel attention. And that keeps the psychological connection alive, even across distance. Second, use time-boxed rounds in breakout rooms. Whether you're running thinking pairs or small group rounds, allocate equal time for each person and use a visible timer. The structure itself creates fairness and ease. Everyone knows they will be heard, no matter the setting. Third, use visible timers, or on-screen countdowns, to manage equal airtime. This removes the need for verbal interruptions and helps the facilitator maintain gentle structure without pressure. Next, establish a no-chat rule during rounds. Side comments in chat windows, even well-intentioned, fracture attention and break the discipline of listening. In a thinking environment, attention is whole. The chat can reopen once the round ends. Another crucial adaptation is what we call bandwidth for silence. In online sessions, silence can feel awkward, especially when the screen shows still faces. But in the thinking environment, silence is not emptiness, it's thinking happening. Encourage participants to let silence breathe. Resist the urge to fill it with reassurance or noise. Finally, remember that place still matters, even virtually. Ask participants to create a quiet, uncluttered space with good light and stable sound. Digital surroundings send the same signals of respect and care as physical rooms do. As the leader or facilitator, your role is to model calm tone and manage the pace. Greet people warmly, allow pauses, and rotate attention intentionally across all participants, including those joining remotely from different sites. When run well, virtual thinking environments can be just as powerful as face-to-face ones. What makes the difference is not the technology, but the discipline of attention, the conscious choice to create stillness, fairness, and connection through the screen. When we bring time to think online, the facilitator's presence becomes the anchor for everything else. This checklist is designed to help you translate the physical conditions of a thinking environment into the digital space. The first part, technical setup, is about removing distraction. Clear lighting, stable sound, and uncluttered visuals all send a silent message of care. The second part, atmosphere and presence, is about tone. Start slowly, begin with a short round of arrival, and remind people that silence isn't empty, it's where thinking happens. Structure matters too. Use time-boxed rounds, visible timers, and clear boundaries on chat or interruptions. These small disciplines protect equality and attention. As a facilitator, your calm is contagious. Your steady presence allows others to relax, think, and connect deeply, even through a screen. And when you close, end as you began, with appreciation and reflection. That gentle rhythm turns every virtual meeting into a thinking environment.
When we take time to think into a virtual or hybrid setting, we often discover that presence, the foundation of all good thinking, is more fragile online. Technology, time pressure, and digital habits can easily disrupt attention. The good news is that each disruption can be repaired, gently and immediately, if we know what to look for. Let's walk through 6 of the most common pitfalls and how to restore presence when they appear. 1. Overlapping voices or interruptions. In physical meetings, we can read subtle cues, someone leaning forward or breathing in, and naturally hand over the conversation. Online, those cues vanish. The result is overlap and interruption, which breaks concentration and equality. When this happens, the repair is simple. Bring back structure. Use a short round or invite people to raise their digital hands. Remind the group kindly, let's keep one voice at a time. It helps us all think better. Most people don't interrupt intentionally, they just need a visible structure to hold the rhythm of attention. 2. Overlapping voices or interruptions. In physical meetings, we can read subtle cues, someone leaning forward or breathing in, and naturally hand over the conversation. Online, those cues vanish. The result is overlap and interruption, which breaks concentration and equality. When this happens, the repair is simple. Bring back structure. Use a short round or invite people to raise their digital hands. Remind the group kindly, let's keep one voice at a time. It helps us all think better. Most people don't interrupt intentionally, they just need a visible structure to hold the rhythm of attention. 2. Silence filled too quickly. Silence can feel uncomfortable on screen. Without physical presence to reassure us, quiet moments can seem like technical issues, so we rush to fill them. But silence in a thinking environment is not a gap, it's a space where the next thought is forming. As a facilitator, maim silence before it disappears. You might say, let's take a moment to think, or simply breathe and count to 5. That pause allows people's minds to settle, and when someone finally speaks, it's usually with far greater depth and clarity. 3. Chat window distraction. In hybrid and virtual meetings, the chat box is a tempting second conversation. It feels efficient, but in reality, it divides attention. While one part of the brain listens, another is writing, reacting, or scrolling, and the quality of thinking drops sharply. The repair here is gentle clarity. At the start of the session, explain that during rounds or thinking time, chat will be closed to protect attention. If people forget, simply remind them, let's hold the chat. Attention is our gift to each other. Framing it as a shared commitment, not a rule, helps everyone understand its purpose.
4. Time pressure and rushing. Online meetings often feel shorter and more compressed than in-person ones. We lose the natural pauses that come with being together, so we rush to fit everything in. The irony is that rushing erodes the very thinking that saves time later. Repair this by using clear time boxing and visible timers. Announce that each person will have a set amount of time to speak and protect that space with calm pacing. As facilitator, your tone sets the tempo. When you slow down slightly, everyone breathes out and the quality of thought rises instantly. 5. Technical glitches or dropouts. Technology sometimes fails us. Screens freeze, sound cuts out, or someone gets dropped from the call. These disruptions can easily fracture connection and momentum. The most important thing is not to rush on. Pause and acknowledge what has happened. You might say, let's pause while we wait for them to rejoin. This small act of patience shows respect and inclusion. When they return, reorient gently, perhaps by summarizing the last idea or offering them the next turn. Presence isn't about perfection. It's about staying grounded when things go wrong. 6 is camera fatigue or screen numbness. Finally, one of the quietest pitfalls, screen fatigue. Long virtual sessions can drain energy. Attention fades, faces glaze over, and the spirit of thinking starts to dull. Prevent this by building in micro-pauses and variety. Try a short reflective silence where cameras can go off for a minute, or alternate between full group and voice-only rounds. Even a short stretch break or breath reset helps. Remind everyone that the goal isn't constant focus, but sustained presence. When energy drops, ease restores it faster than effort. So, these are the 6 most common pitfalls, and each one, when repaired, deepens the quality of attention in the group. The key is never to treat these moments as mistakes. They're simply signals, gentle reminders to return to presence. Online or offline, the principle remains the same. Where attention is restored, thinking recovers. And as facilitators, our calmness is the bridge back to that shared space of thought. So this brings us to the end of this section on adapting time to think for remote and hybrid working environments. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you on the next one.